Welcome back to Suspenders Unbuttoned. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Julie, and we're excited to welcome Rhiannon Fish and Ben Rosenbaum back to the podcast. Welcome, guys.
Yay!
Thank you for having us.
Well, we're always love talking to both of you. And today we get to celebrate the Christmas Cup, which is really fun. And it airs on November 30th. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the movie?
Ben, you go.
Okay. Well, thank you for right off the top letting people know when it's happening, because that is the most important thing for people to tune in on November 30th at 6/5 Central on Hallmark Channel, of course, and Hallmark Plus the following day. With that out of the way, it's just a fun Christmas romp, you guys. It's classic in the best way, just a classic Hallmark movie around Christmas time. And we've got a little competition in it. There's a lot of, runs the gamut in terms of feels. It's just fun, and it's got some real heart to it. And more When Calls cast members than you can count.
Yes, true.
I think I counted.
Okay, all right. It is as many as you can count on your fingers. Yeah. I was wrong.
I think I did count. Amazing. When you first saw the script, what was something that made you excited for the storyline?
I will say I agreed to do it before I read the script because, who would say no to a Hallmark Christmas movie? I was like, whatever it's about, I'm in. And then as soon as I started reading it, it opens with Kelly getting off the bus, returning from the army after having been honorably or medically discharged. And I haven't ever met a character like that. It's so often, I usually do the adventure movies, which is wonderful, but it's just a kind of a different pace than this film. And so it kind of felt a bit more grounded in the characters and in the story. We couldn't so much rely on that, oh, look, we're in Machu Picchu. We had to really find a lot of heart in almost every scene.
It's true. Kelowna is beautiful, but it is not Machu Picchu. In terms of where you point the camera, it really does.
Exactly, yeah.
This movie is carried by Rhiannon, and she does a beautiful job in it. Very grounded, as you mentioned, performances and really touching storytelling.
And we were so lucky too. The ensemble cast just hit it out of the park. I know when I read the script, I'll speak specifically of Jada, who I just think is an absolute superstar. When I read that character, I was like, nobody can do this. This is not a real person. And I met Jada and I was like, oh, this is a real person in the best way possible. I have never met a more just lovable, energetic, but very smart young woman. So we were so lucky. Everybody that filled all those spots just really brought the script to life in a way that I never imagined, having read it in the first place.
And for people who watch When Calls the Heart, she's so different
really?
In this movie. Yeah, so different in this movie than what she's like on the show. And it was amazing for me to watch. Same thing with Natasha.
Yeah.
Totally different character and type and just played, but in both cases played so well that have it for someone like Rhiannon who's just kind of getting to know them. That's just who they are. They're like a real person, just like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So Jada plays Starla, and she also plays Allie Grant on When Calls the Heart. So those are going to be our two characters you're going to be looking at.
Yay! Oh yeah, she's so funny. I love her.
We do too. We do too.
She was a lot of fun to talk with when we had her on the
podcast. Yeah.
Just
really, and just incredible energy.
Yeah, all of her energy.
Unstoppable, unbridled energy.
Yeah.
She's great. Okay, so this was the first time you've worked together, and then Bren brings, half of his cast meets with him to film with you. So let's talk a little bit about the chemistry between Quinn and Kelly. How did you guys develop that? And Rhiannon, you mentioned how you couldn't rely so much in this movie
Yes.
on the beautiful
Yeah.
places that you were. So how were you able to kind of dig into these characters a bit more?
Absolutely. There was no like, oh, just look over here. Don't worry about what we're seeing. It all has to exist here. And I said this to Ben right from the beginning, like, I have never worked with somebody who was as hands-on as you, Ben, with the script. Like, you came to our very first meeting. Like, it was you, me, Robin, our director, and Chris, our DOP. And you had already thought out like so much of what you wanted to do with not just our scenes, but with like the whole movie and all the arcs of everybody. Like, there were scenes you weren't involved in, and you were like, I just have some thoughts on this scene, which was so wonderful and so appreciated. Yeah, you're just such a thoughtful actor that clearly cared. And so when you meet somebody that I would be very candid, I had a similar experience with Tyler, where it was like, oh, he just really cares and wants to pick this apart, the whole movie, to make it better. And I felt that you did that as well. And it made the chemistry come so easily. I just really trusted you, I feel like.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that comparison all day. And I'll throw that right back at you. I mean, you were as prepared in the same way. And I think that was the moment when we both went like, oh, okay, we're on the same page in terms of how we work, how we want to work, the collaborative nature that we like to each work in and participate in.
Yes.
Rhiannon is obviously very easy to fall in love with. And her positive energy is so like obvious from first meeting, and the very genuine and kind way she treats everybody around her. I mean, regardless of the role that somebody's in on set, every crew member got a hello, a specific hi, how you doing? Remembered everybody's name top to bottom, which is not easy to do on these short films with so many people working. And Rhiannon was just like that leader who showed up, knew exactly who everybody was and what they did, and included everybody in the process.
Thank you.
For me, it was very easy to get in there and start to play. It was just a very comfortable, like, safe place to work.
I agree. And Robin, our director, was wonderful with that as well. He gave us a lot of freedom. Collaborative was the best way to describe it, with everybody. So it
felt like that clicked in very, very quickly, very early on. Everybody was like, let's get in here and do the best we can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, that's amazing, actually. And I'm not surprised to hear either of you gushing about each other. We've had both of you on, and it's been a lot of fun. But when you were filming, was there a moment when you both were like, this is going to be a great movie?
You know, very early on in the movie, it actually happens early in the movie, but it was also early in our filming, in our film schedule. Within the first day I was on set, I want to say they filmed a bit where Rhiannon as Kelly returns home before a jump out surprise. And Rhiannon was doing such beautiful still work, patiently taking in like her childhood home that she was returning to, and walking up to the Christmas tree, and the lighting was beautiful and warm and cozy, and it all just felt very like Christmassy and exactly where you want to be. It was so beautiful, both the acting and the directing and the set deck and all of it, that I was just like, oh yeah, I want to be here. I just want to hang out here. I feel like that's a really good place to be. It only that was just the warm, cozy part. And then we got to do a bunch of fun, silly stuff. And that's just a bonus anytime I'm working, is when they bring in the fun and the silly.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. I think for me, I found it in that's well said. We were allowed to be still, which sometimes it feels like in these Hallmark movies, we're not. There was a stillness that Robin let us have that felt very grounding and very good. It made this feel different to me than the other movies I've previously done.
Yeah, and that can be hard because there was a lot going on in this movie. There's a lot of, like you said, a lot of fun and excitement and competition. It could have easily lost those moments, so I'm really glad you were able to have them.
Thank you.
Okay, so Ben, you play Captain Quinn. Do all of your characters, are they always in charge of a fire department?
Yeah, it's in my rider. I make sure no matter what it is, they got to do those were most of my notes I came in with off the top was like, he's not enough of a firefighter. I need more fire stuff.
It's like more firefighter.
Yes, exactly. Across the board, just point me in the direction of a fire, please.
But in all seriousness, what did you like about Quinn and how could you relate to him?
I think that I get to embody such a, I get to be in a lane on When Calls the Heart that is, Hickam over the course of 13 seasons has had a lot of different types of moments and things to play. But for the most part, I would say I live in the kind of comedic relief. And so to step into the boots of Quinn and play more of some of that stillness and a little bit more grounded and being in a position more of authority as the fire captain was a really fun new thing to explore, and to see if I was comfortable just sitting in that and being a bit more of a grounding character rather than somebody who's dancing around trying to make you laugh. So it was I was really drawn to his kind of warmth and stature.
Yeah, I love that. And then, Rhiannon, how would you describe Staff Sergeant Kelly Brandt? What made her special to you?
I think it's something that I can definitely relate to, in that she really thought her life was going to go one way, and that has been derailed. And now to sort of be okay with that, and trust the process. It's definitely a lesson that I've learned many times over in my life, and continue to remind myself that what is meant to be mine will be. And I think that Kelly was a little bit stuck on no, this is the way it has to be, but sort of surrendering herself, and also realizing that it's not a failure to go home. I think even I've had that idea. I think we can all sort of feel that, to speak to the industry, where it's oh, you got to go to LA, you got to leave your small town and go take on Hollywood or whatever. You don't have to. You can stay at home and find peace in that. And I think it was beautiful to watch Kelly find, the physical home, but then also to find it in people as well. Of course, in Quinn and her brother and Kip and her dad. I could relate to a lot of Kelly's whole journey.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed sort of figuring out what the heart of the film was as we were doing it.
Did. Yeah.
By especially watching Kelly kind of come to that realization that she was in her own way to a degree. And that is something that I think is really relatable, is when you can hopefully you just have good people around you who are able to kind of help you see that sometimes. But that is a lesson that I think all of us are dealing with all the time, is taking a step back, gaining a little perspective, and recognizing that whatever you're so focused on isn't the only thing that exists in the world. And there are other paths forward if you can only widen your view a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how you said to just get out of your own way. That's what it was, Kelly. And I'm pretty sure there's a moment where Quinn literally, says that in a way. It's open your eyes, look what's here. And then Natasha's saying the same thing. It's just, you nailed it. It's everybody around her. She just needs to get out of her own way. That's all it is.
Yeah, nice. It's such a relatable lesson or storyline, really. Okay, so we know that Hallmark romances, especially Christmas romances, have a very special magic to them. What would you say would make the relationship in the Christmas Cup kind of stand out in this lineup of Christmas movies?
Oh, it's a tough lineup.
It's a tough lineup.
What have we got?
I would say that there's this built-in like competitive thing going on, because the story surrounds these two towns that are rivals, that are competing for the Christmas Cup. They do all these fun, silly activities every year, but everybody takes them very seriously. And so the stakes are high, even though they feel like they should be lower for a snowball fight. And I think there was always the pull to allow ourselves to be caught up in that. And it would seem like the really like straightforward thing to do, to just go, we're oil and water, we're going to play a fire, like there's like a fight and competitive energy that leads until it doesn't. And in this case, I thought something that was really lovely about it is that there is a desire to help each other and be there for each other from the very beginning, which allows for, you know, what otherwise might feel like way too quick to recognize a real connection between these two, it actually manages to have a bit of a slower build, even though it all moves very quickly through these types of stories. And so I found by the time that we were bringing these two together, spoiler alert, potentially, I guess, for those who don't usually watch Hallmark movies, at the end, it felt like much more earned. Like they have this shared past with their military service and a real connection to home and serving their communities. And these shared values that I think they sort of recognize they're equal, opposite each other in a way that I thought was just really lovely, rather than like, we're competing and so we're just going to have silly kind of fighting energy the whole time. There's a real like genuine deep connection that they share that would be there whether it turned romantic or not, but they do end up being attracted to each other as well.
I agree. Like when I read the script, I was like, oh, or even when I saw the title, I was like, oh, they're going to be on opposing teams. And then when they weren't, I was like, okay, well, how are we going to, like, where's the conflict going to come? So I was actually somewhat surprised as to how they found that conflict in it, and in a way that was much more exciting than just the oil and water sort of scenario competing teams. It was clever, in my opinion.
Yeah. Nice little different take on it.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, there's a wonderful balance between the fun and then the emotional heart of the movie, and I think it gives it just a wonderful Christmas feel.
Good.
Yeah. So
that was one of our executive producers, Amy, was every single scene, every single like shot was like, more Christmas, get more Christmas in there. He was constantly hustling around, shifting, adding extra baubles and lights and things here and there. So I hope there should be plenty of Christmas.
Lots of Christmas.
Christmas is great. Okay, so we touched on it earlier that there are When Calls the Heart guests on there. They have all been spilled in the preview. So
yeah,
every single last one of them. So Ben,
I thought maybe that mystery might survive all the way to the premiere, but there they were in the preview, and what a delicious offering that was.
Right, but so Ben brought his friends to set. What I really want to know is, Rhiannon, how was it to have them joining you on set?
Honestly, it was a dream. And I can say this so honestly, is that everybody speaks so highly of their show. Like you never know. You guys have been it's 13 seasons now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. Like shows that go that long, like you read about in the tabloids and people are over it and there's this going on and that behind the scenes. But everybody only had good things to say about your show and the experience of working on it. It was just an absolute pleasure for me as somebody who obviously aspires to, whether it be on that show specifically or a different Hallmark show. I would absolutely love an opportunity like that. So to hear you all speak about it so highly was nothing short of inspiring for me to witness. It was such a pleasure.
Ben, do you know anybody that could make this happen?
His name's
I was gonna
Brad.
say, it's,
you know, and
at this point she's worked with half our cast,
There you
and
go.
everybody got along swimmingly. So yeah, that seems like the logical next step.
Yeah.
Is just bring her to Hope Valley.
we
I'm
love
in.
I love Natasha. Both of us are so introverted. We all joked about this. Natasha and I don't want to talk to anybody ever. We have our phones in at all times, just kind of sitting in the corner, just kind of get more shy. But Natasha and I became very fast friends. Like we, then a few weeks after the movie wrapped, we were at like an award show together. Natasha and I sat at the same table. Like I made a little friend, and it was really
we've had her on a few times, and absolutely I love her. We've had nearly everyone from the show, including writers, directors, on. So it's just lovely.
Well, just to quickly respond, it's my favorite thing to hear ever when people tell us that our show has a good reputation as a place to work, because that's how it feels to be there, and it's just the best. So I feel so fortunate to be a part of it, and for the fact that these are people who I genuinely want to hang out with and really enjoy as friends, in addition to really respecting them as coworkers. So like, for me, it really was like, it did feel like I just got to invite my friends over to work to bring them to this movie. And well, I didn't bring them, but for them to be there. And it was, so it just makes every environment feel like a little bit more like home, a friendly place to be. And again, Rhiannon fit right in there. So whoever, whoever's listening to this.
Okay, so lots of group scenes in this movie, which is really fun, but we know they can be tricky to film. So can you talk a little bit about the dynamic of all those competition scenes?
I will say,
so many groups.
We shot the Christmas Cup, so the competition, and the end of the movie, like the final kiss big scene, on the same day, which respectfully may have been a scheduling error, because by the time we got to the kissing end of the movie scene, we had no time. Like the director Robin had all these grand ideas about how he wanted to film the kiss and do all these things. We got there and it was like, guys, we've got 15 minutes if we were lucky. So I'm actually, it's one of the scenes I'm looking forward to doing, because we barely did it, Ben. Like we maybe twice, 3 times. That was it, which is exciting in its own way, because it keeps it very fresh.
Had to live in the moment.
But the competition scene, to speak to your question, like all of those scenes were time consuming, but they were also a blast. We had so much fun. I really did enjoy the competition itself.
It felt like pure chaos to me, so many of those competition scenes. Part of the way that Robin works is that he'll have, at least in this case, his DOP Chris sits by him at the monitors and is remotely operating a camera, so he can kind of go into it where at least one camera he can tell as we're filming, just like, okay, now point over there. Okay, now get this reaction over here. Okay, now zoom in over here and get that one. And it's like, honestly, the camera should have been pointing on them half the time with the amount of activity going on back there. Yeah. We would also, do you remember there was one time, so Rhiannon had this like heartfelt, touching moment and like delivered her line really beautifully, as she always does. And Robin particularly liked it though. And so from the tent, like where they were sitting by the monitors, like down the block, we heard him go, yes! Like, we could hear it on set while we were acting. Like, I guess well done.
Yeah.
So that really added a lot of a sense of like, especially in those competition scenes, of like, just go for it. Just continue to play and really be there and really compete. And we will just catch you with a camera when we can. It wasn't so set up like now you're on camera, so you kind of always had to be ready in those scenes.
So when you don't know if you're going to be on camera, you just have to be on and doing the things that should show up on camera all the time then?
Yeah, which is honestly, I mean, that's closer to how I naturally work anyways, just because I don't find it easy to jump in and jump out and be more, some people, true veterans of the silver screen, can really like, they know when the camera's on them and they can turn it on, and then they know as soon as it's off, and then they're a little bit preserving some energy. And for me, I think even in rehearsals, I just kind of treat it like the real deal. So maybe that's coming from the stage. Maybe that's the stage background for me, is that like you're always up in front of the audience, and so you always got to be finding something to do. So that's how I approach it anyways. But yes, it is, it's different from when, usually they will tell you, now this camera's catching this and this camera's catching this, and we're going to get a piece of your shoulder and that's going to be on, and you know exactly what you're filming. And in those, especially in those competition scenes, we most of the time did not know. So we had to just kind of continue to play, which is a fun way to work. It's just different.
Yeah. Okay, so we have to wrap up now. So let us know what else you might have coming up that we can watch for.
Well, I believe you're going to be able to, people can catch both of us at the Hallmark Christmas experience in Kansas City. Is that right, Rhiannon? You're going to be there?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm so excited. Which weekend are you guys going?
I'm going to be there week 3. You guys as well? Nice. I'll see you there.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
What weekend are you, Rhiannon?
I'm 1.
Oh no, we're gonna miss
3. Ooh, weekend
But that's
3.
soon. So you're getting ready. Every time we talk to you, you're packing your suitcase.
I was literally just packing just like in between the podcast today. Yeah.
Like literally every time you're like, I'm off
It's gonna be so. Yeah.
on computer. So you have that coming up. Do you have do you have anything else coming up? Possibly, Ben, you have something coming up the beginning of January.
Oh, well, yes, of course. Yes, season 13 of When Calls the Heart will be coming out in January. I only just heard the news. So do you know the date specifically? The 4th? January 4th?
First Sunday of January.
Fantastic. First weekend, first Sunday of January. Very exciting stuff.
Exciting.
We just get to keep rolling straight through holidays into When Calls the Heart in January.
And then when season 14 happens, we will be looking for Rhiannon to be...
Hello.
Would love
She's
that.
right here. Yeah.
She's right here.
Thank you so much. Always a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you,
fun to
guys.
see you both. And we'll see you soon in person, Ben. And hopefully one of these days, Rhiannon.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.